Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you sat on a promotional panel and asked the candidate where they think the fire service will be in 10 years? Not what they've done, not what they would do, not how they handled a conflict 5 years ago, but where they believe our profession is actually headed today. My guess is for the most departments, the answer is never. And that's a problem. Because I think we're promoting people based on their understanding of the past, when we should be evaluating their ability to lead the future. Welcome back to Fire Ready Leadership. Today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind after participating in promotional processes and observing promotional processes in multiple organizations. This isn't an attack on promotional interviews. It's not an attack on oral boards, and it's certainly not an attack on experience. Experience matters, knowledge matters, and decision-making matters. But I believe we're missing an opportunity to identify the next generation of leaders. Think about most promotional interviews. The questions are usually some variation of, tell us about a conflict you resolved. Tell us about a difficult employee. Describe the time you demonstrated leadership. What would you do if a firefighter violated a policy? How would you handle a disagreement between personnel? Again, these are valuable questions. They tell us how our candidate thinks. They tell us about experience. They tell us about judgment. But almost every one of those questions is focused on the past or the present. Very few are focused on the future. We're essentially asking, can you maintain what already exists? Can you operate within the current system? Can you continue doing what we've always done? What we're not asking is, can you improve the system? Can you make us better? Can you help us prepare for what's coming next? Whether we like it or not, the fire service is always changing. Technology is changing, training is changing, recruitment is changing, data collection is changing. Emergency medical services are evolving. Community risk reduction continues to expand. Artificial intelligence is beginning to impact every profession, including ours. Departments across the country are struggling with staffing. Budgets are tighter than ever. Communities expect more services than ever before. The next generation of officers will face challenges that many of us never imagined when we entered the profession. So why wouldn't we want to know how candidates think about those challenges? The corporate comparison. One thing I've noticed is that many successful organizations outside the fire service actively seek innovation. They ask candidates, what processes would you improve? What inefficiencies do you see? How would you make this organization better? What opportunities are we missing? They aren't just looking for someone who can perform the job. They're looking for someone who can improve the job. They're looking for someone who can move the organization forward. Now, before somebody says it, I know the fire service is different. We can't simply adopt every corporate practice. Lives depend on what we do. Tradition matters, experience matters, but improvement matters too. And innovation doesn't mean abandoning tradition. Innovation means finding better ways to serve our communities and support our firefighters. The question we should ask: imagine asking a promotional candidate, where do you see the fire service in 10 years? What challenges do you think we'll face? What changes should our department be making today to prepare for tomorrow? Now, think about the answers. Some candidates might struggle. Some might provide generic responses. But some will demonstrate vision. Some will reveal that they've been studying trends. Some will show they've been thinking beyond their current assignment. Those are the people who have become transformational leaders. The balance. To be clear, I'm not suggesting we eliminate traditional promotional questions. We still need officers who understand leadership. We still need officers who understand discipline, accountability, emergency operations, and policy. But maybe we need to balance. Maybe 80% of the interview focuses on operational competence, and maybe 20% focuses on vision. Because leadership isn't just about managing today's problems. Leadership is also about preparing for tomorrow's challenges. Some of the best leaders I've worked for weren't simply experts at maintaining the organization. They were people who looked at processes and asked, why do we do it this way? Is there a better way? Can we improve this? Can we reduce unnecessary work? Can we train more effectively? Can we serve our people better? Those questions drive progress, and progress doesn't happen by accident. It happens when leaders are willing to challenge the status quo. So here's my challenge to the promotional panels, chief officers, and department leaders. The next time you're building a promotional process, consider adding a question about the future. Ask candidates where they think the profession is headed. Ask them what they would improve. Ask them what opportunities they see. You might learn something about your department, and you might identify the next leader who will help shape the future of your organization. Because the fire service doesn't just need officers who understand where we've been. We need officers who understand where we're going. If you enjoyed this discussion, leave a comment below. What question would you ask future fire officers? And do you think our promotional processes are preparing leaders for tomorrow's fire service? Thanks for watching, and always stay safe and stay ready.